this story
Okay.
about different, about Becho Lake, that the north of where we live. There used to be an elder that told me a story a long time ago when I was about, I don't know, 12 or 13 years old when I was in Meander. And this elder, I seen him sitting by the fire outside. When I top the hill, I looked down, 7 o'clock in the morning. I seen an elder sitting by the fire outside. So I went back down over there. I visited this elder. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And his house was from here to the truck, the white truck over there. But he had a fire, campfire, and 2 beavers there, and bannock, tea, and he was skinning the 2 beavers. And I sat beside him, and he started telling me a story. And this was early in the morning, and to tell you the truth, during that day, it was a long day, but I sat there maybe 13, 14 hours listening to him. That's how interesting his story got. Telling me about this special lake, where he grew up when he was my age back then, 15 years old. And he was sitting by the fire. It was April, I remember the ice was going. And he started telling me a story, he said, about Becho Lake. And all day I sat there, told me the history of the Becho Lake story, and I sat beside this elder. And today I go fishing out in Becho Lake winter time. Every winter I go there. Every time I go on the ice, just like Steve said, 40 years ago the story was told to me about that lake. Every time I go out on the lake, I stand there, beautiful. I could still see that story in my head, what the elder has told me. He said a long time ago when I was a young man like you, I go out on the ice, and all the people that lived there that would died off of smallpox, they were like ants on the ice, he said. That's how many people were out there checking fishnet. They said those were our people before the smallpox killed them all. And every time I go on the ice in the Becho Lake, I stop with a skidoo. I kind of like pray, I stop, clear day, and I could still see the story. I could still see the elders ice fishing. I could still see the elders pulling the sleigh. That was the story was told to me about 40 years ago. I still see it. That's why I go over there every year to do. I put fish net, I bring 300, 400, 500 fish home to feed our elders back home. That's because it's beautiful out there. The sad thing about is the young people. We usually take few of them, but I told them anybody want to go out in Becho Lake to go fishing, learn how to do ice like fish. And the first thing they ask is there any Wi-Fi over there? And what's the Wi-Fi? It's in the middle of nowhere. But the sad thing about it is, the thing they don't know, there's a Wi-Fi over there. Yes, there is, at the lodge over there. But I'm not going to tell them, you got to find out. But these are the stories that we have. If we're going to live the language, you got to live it to able to understand our way of life. That's what Steve is saying. He's right. If you know the language, like 90%, 99% of the language, if a story's been told to you, you will understand what they're talking about. Like if an elder telling you a story in Dene language, you can pretty well see as they go, as they're speaking. I remember that because I remember when I was a young kid, we used to go out duck hunting, and the elders sit around the fire like this, telling us stories, but we can never move. We have to listen and learn. And they tap our shoulder like us. He used to tell me. I remember a lot of times. You will remember what I say down the road as you get older. One time I told my sisters, I said, I never thought I was going to get old. I thought I was just going to stand one spill and one spot and look, those people are going to get old, and I was going to walk way behind, but it didn't work that way.
That's the way I feel.
I didn't know I was supposed to get old. So, like I shared the story back there, I said, maybe there's a reason why I was told all these stories. Maybe I like the elders, they say, just like your fox story said, you say, you see a black spot when you're a young person, walk around it like a smart fox. Then you go a long way. Yeah. That's what the elders, they tell us. Meaning that black spot is an alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
And something that you know that's going to take your life. Walk around it. We were warned when we were young people, but some fall off tracks and they don't listen. We're the ones that end up losing their life. I lost a lot of good friends in my young life. That's bad. So we gotta teach all these young people, the ones that are growing up. Even though sometimes we're scared to say something, but we have to, so they can learn from us. So they can have a better life in the future. Like it is like Curtis told a story this morning. It's hard to talk about stuff like this, what he said this morning, but it's good. We have our Danish spirit in us. Like, I'm not afraid to say, like, I used to have a lot of alcohol problem in my life. But it's just about, I was drunk for 21 or 32 days, straight vodka. It just about killed me. I was in the hospital 11 days. And then just when I was so 11 days came around, and I had a dream. I never even thought about being a drummer. I never even thought I was in the hospital and I was standing with 4 people in my dream. And I was holding a drum. I was standing with 4. And I woke up and I was in the hospital, just about died of alcohol. And then thinking, what kind of dream did I have? It was across the river in Meander. And this guy was talking to me. I was that far off the ground, this guy that was talking to me. And then I was thinking, how come this guy talking to me is off the ground? And then he knew my thinking. He knew what I was thinking. And then he turned around and said to me, he said, the reason why I'm not standing on your ground is because I used to be in your ground when I was a young man like you. I'm in the spirit world now, so that's why my feet is not touching your ground. That's the dream I had when I was holding a drum, and here I was just about died of alcohol. This was 1986. And then when I got home from the hospital, I got discharged, and I was telling my wife, my ex, and then she looked at me and she said, yeah, what the hell, you're going crazy. I said, you're drinking too much and you're going crazy. And what am I going to say if someone thinks I'm crazy? So, and from that day on, I started sobering up. And then 1987, the elders that are all gone now, told us, we're getting too old, we're going to end up losing our drummer, so you young people should start. That's when we started having a meeting and talking with each other. We recorded 4 cassette or 6 cassette. We passed it on to each other. We said we're going to sing along and try to learn. And that's what we did. And then later on down the road, we practiced. We were ashamed of what we're doing, I guess, or we didn't understand. So we were behind a building with one of our drummers' house. The highway was this way, there was a house sitting this way, and there's a teepee behind, so where we can hide and sing, practice. And then we were doing that all summer, 2-3 months, and then down the road, we were practicing one evening. And then one of the drummers came around the house and he ran back. He said, holy shit. I said, what? I said, look on the highway. So we went out. Shit, there was a vehicle from there to over there, people standing on the side of the road, listening. Holy, we didn't know, but we kept singing. And that's how we started. And at first, that was 1987. On June, there was a tea dance ring that we were supposed to sing. One of the elders told us, sing. You guys got to sing so we can dance. Holy man, should have you put something in water on top of my shoulder, would have been shaking like that. So nervous that we did. Holy man, we fill up the tea dance ring there. Oh, I was feeling good. And that's how the reason why I'm sharing this story is because you got to learn. Like Steve said, you got to live. If you're gonna do your language, you got to live with it for the people to understand, to feel it. And that's how we started. And then I was used to be always hide behind. I was kind of shy. And then I remember one of the late elder, Willie Annecy, he's passed on. He was our lead singer for the elders. He used to talk about our prophet Noah. She used to talk about that Noah story, and then he said, in a spirit world, he said, you're not going to be shy. If you're going to be standing in front of the people, you're not going to be shy because it's going to be a lot of people. You're going to be standing in front. So if you want to speak in a public like that, just pretend there's one little kid like that, and you don't have to be shy. Then you don't feel it. One of our elders, Willie Annecy, used to tell us that story when we were young. The person that I used to listen, he used to be a really spiritual elder. Every Sunday he used to sing a prayer song. And he lived not far from where we live as a kid. I used to run over there on Sunday and sit beside there and listen. Because that was our way of being Dene people, I guess, is listening. Well, like before the European came, we used to, tea dance was our way of prayer.
Yes.
So that's how I learned over the years. And then one of the elders, they told me, as I was holding a drum, one of the elders told me, he said, once you're holding a drum, you're there for life. That's what I shared with my friend Curtis there. I said, once you pick up a drum, you're there for life. Like Gary, there's no way that you're gonna put it down and it's gonna be over. It's not that. Once you pick it up, the only time your drum beat will stop if your heartbeat stops. You're there with it for life. That's how we are as Dene people. So our elders used to tell me, I'm proud of what we're doing here, what you guys are doing, and we'll share a story with you people. We're proud. We're supposed to be proud Dene people, and let's all do it together. And if somebody's got any story to share, don't be shy. Step up, and that's how our young people are going to survive in the future.